Today's lesson is how to solve multi-step equations. A multi-step equation is any equation that has more than two steps. So let's look at this first one. We have 2 times the quantity 5x minus 3 plus 3x equals 7. All right, now I'm going to suggest, this is just a suggestion, it will be particularly helpful in the next lesson, that you find your equal sign and you sort of draw a line down the equal sign so that you can keep everything lined up and you can see the left side of the equation and the right side of the equation. All right, there are 3 main steps to solving a multi-step equation. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to distribute. You want to look for any distributive property and clear your parentheses. So I have 2 times the quantity 5x minus 3 right here. So I'm going to do 2 times 5x, which is 10x, and then I'm going to go 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6. I'm going to copy the plus 3x. I'm going to copy the equal sign. Don't lose your equal sign, and I'm going to copy the 7. Okay, step 2 is to combine like terms. So I'm going to look on the left side over here. I have a 10x plus 3x. 10x plus 3x is 13x. Minus 6 equals 7. And at this point, I have a 1 or 2-step equation to solve. In this case, it's a 2-step. We are old pros at this by now, so we will just solve. So I have minus 6, so I'm going to add 6 to both sides. I'm going to bring down 13x equals 13. Divide both sides by 13. And x is 1. And remember, we're not going to show this today, but you could take this 1, you could substitute it back up here for x, and if you then simplify this side with x equals 1, you should get 7. So you can check any equation to make sure you got it correct. So my next equation is negative 25 equals 1/2 times 10x minus 2 in parentheses plus 3x. So here's my equal sign. Let me draw that line down there. Notice my variable this time is on the right. That really bothers some people. You can rewrite this, pick up the whole expression and move it to the other side, and pick up the negative 25 and move it to the other side. You don't have to, but some people just can't handle that variable being on the right-hand side. The reason I want to show this one is we're going to distribute a fraction. Okay, so I'm going to bring down the negative 25, copy my equal sign. Do not lose that equal sign. And I'm going to do 1/2 times 10x. So I'm doing multiplication here, so it looks like this. So I hope you know what half of 10 is. This is 5x. If it happened to be something you weren't sure about, your calculator will do that fraction work. 1/2 times 10, okay? And then I'm going to do 1/2 times negative 2. So what I'm actually doing is 1/2 times negative 2, which is minus 1. All right. And then copy the 3x. So I distribute. Step 2 is combine. So I'm going to copy the negative 25 and the equals. I see 5x and I see 3x. 5x plus 3x is 8x minus 1. Now I'm down to a 2-step equation. So I find my 8x minus 1. I need to take care of that minus 1 first. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. Negative 25 plus 1 is negative 24 equals 8x. It's 8 times x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 8. And x is negative 3. Okay, so this one is the same idea. We want to distribute, combine, and solve, but sometimes a problem written in the way this is written confuses people. So look at this. 9 minus 4 times parentheses 2p minus 1 equals 41. This part right here confuses some people. They want to subtract 9 minus 4 and get 5 times 2p minus 1. But you can't do that because of the order of operations. Okay, this right here is negative 4 times the parentheses, and this is 9 minus this. So multiplication, which is what distributive property is, comes before subtraction. So we just want to copy the 9 and we're going to distribute this -4. So make sure you keep that negative with that 4 to know what to do. So -4 times 2p is -8p. -4 times a -1 is +4. Copy the rest. All right, now combining like terms. I have 9 plus 4, that is 13. I'm going to write that 8p there. You could have written this as -8p plus 13 if you wanted. Just be careful with your signs. Equals 41. Now, I have my -8p and my positive 13. This minus goes with the 8, so be careful here. So this is a plus 13. So to do the inverse operation, we're going to subtract 13 from both sides, bring down the -8p, never lose your minus signs, and your equals, and 41 minus 13 is 28. Okay, so now I'm going to divide both sides by -8, and I get p equals, oh no, -8 does not go into 28 evenly, which means our answer is going to be a fraction. Okay, so what I want you to do most of the time is leave it as a fraction. Since the denominator is negative, that makes this whole fraction negative. So this is -28/8, and that simplifies to, and your calculator will simplify fractions for you. If you type in with the fraction key and then hit enter, it'll simplify it for you. So you could do it that way, or you could just know that 4 goes into both of these and we get 7/2, -7/2. So it is okay to have a fractional answer. This would be okay to change to a decimal because it's a terminating decimal. It would be -3.5. But I would just leave it as a fraction and save yourself a step. All right, one more type of situation that we want to look at. I have negative and then in parentheses 6h plus 7 plus 8 equals -19. You guys have been doing very well handling this negative outside the parentheses. Remember, that's a -1. If you need to write it in to help you, you can. That's -1 times 6h, which is -6h, and -1 times 7, which is -7. Remember, a negative outside parentheses changes the sign of everything in the parentheses. So I'm going to bring down the +8. I'll do my little line here in case we need it. And -19. All right, so let me see what I've got. So I've got -6h. -7 plus 8 is +1 equals -19. So I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, and I get -6n equals -20. I'm going to divide both sides by -6. This is very similar to the one we saw just a minute ago. 6 does not go into 20 evenly. Two negatives in a fraction, this would be a negative divided by a negative, makes a positive 26th. And you can simplify that in your calculator or just know that it is 10 thirds. Now 10 thirds is 3 1/3, which is a repeating decimal. So you definitely want to leave this one as a fraction. Don't change to a decimal that does not terminate, because then you have to round it and your negative is not, I'm sorry, your answer is not precise anymore. Okay? All right then. I think we are ready to go, and you can go on to your next assignment.